Ivanna Sakhno, welcome to Thank the Maker.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks so much for sitting down with us. You're our first guest of the weekend. So
Are you serious?
Thank you.
Oh, I'm so honored. Yeah.
We're going to dust it off here.
Good to have you here. So, as a lot of folks know, Ahsoka Season 2 has been wrapped, principal photography at least.
Yeah.
It's got to be like a strange waiting game between wrapping photography and waiting for posts and all of that.
Yeah, it always is. Especially I can feel that waiting game right now being here with you guys because it's been quite a few months since we finished. It was, I think we wrapped principal photography in October. So at the same time, though, I'm beginning to feel how more or less quickly it's beginning to come back into our orbit, and cannot speak when it comes out, but I cannot wait for the people to see it. It's, I think, more or less, I hope it's evident how much it means to us. And with the first season and the second season, we've put everything we've got within us and our love for it into this, into the story. So hopefully you'll enjoy it.
Amazing. So, emotional topic, hard question, your choice whether or not you want to even get into it. With the tragic loss of Ray Stevenson and the recast of Baylan Skoll with Rory McCann, I imagine as an actor and as, you know, a friend and coworker kind of dynamic, there are lots of things that are probably challenging to have this first season and then second season, how to prepare for it, how to act within a role and as a human being. Is there anything that you can speak to with that experience and how you feel about Ahsoka Season 2 with the recasting?
I will always be grateful to speak about Ray Stevenson.
Yes, awesome.
And that understanding of a Force ghost, what it represents, my story with Ray Stevenson specifically started with him becoming a dear friend in personal life, but also a master in every sense of the word. And with his passing, he became a Force ghost to me in many ways, not just to me, but to really like everybody who was lucky enough to know him. And his partner Betta speaks on how his spirit was nearly too big for his body. And with the passing, he like kind of raised the vibration of those surrounding him. Yeah, and you do gain wings with the passing of somebody as powerful within their spirit as Ray Stevenson. And so it was challenging, I'm not gonna lie. It's to this day I think of him often. We're gonna see each other probably here tomorrow, and tomorrow night I'm having dinner with his family in New York City, so they continue to be a huge presence in my life. And so it speaks not only on what Ray meant to us, but his impact on this family and his impact as Baylan Skoll in the storyline. And I think Dave has done a meaningful and brilliant job taking care of Baylan Skoll and allowing his story to continue and allowing his legacy to continue. And the fact that he took the amount of time he did with the character and he found Rory, to somebody who is not only a brilliant actor, a wonderful person, but also understands the value of this journey. What Baylan Skoll means to us, what Ray means to us, and also, hopefully, I only hold great hope that he felt from each person involved how just grateful we are to have him with us, and that it is him who continues Baylan's story. So I don't want to overspeak at all on his work on the series, but I just feel incredibly lucky that he's a part of it. He's the guy, you know.
Awesome. That's amazing to hear. You know, because recasting, period, you know, just as a concept, there's always going to be, you know, that elephant in the room for the people who experience it as castmates and fans. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And it's one thing to just be recast. It's another thing when you lose someone, when there's a loss, there's a death, you know? And I think about when the entire world lost Carrie Fisher and thinking about how the Rise of Skywalker would happen with her gone and this giant void in like all of our hearts and in the fandom. Yeah, I can only imagine. And it's great to hear that you had amazing experiences with Ray and you're having amazing experiences now and moving forward. So
I think
that's a long-winded way of saying, oh, that makes me happy. That's like a sigh of relief.
And I think Baylan was such a just a monumental moment in new, you know, what we're getting now in Star Wars in terms of a character appearing that just universally like took everyone's breath away. Like, what? I mean, he commands so much on screen, you know, and you just knew that there was something in this Star Wars character as a Star Wars fan that you have to know his story. Like when the season ended, I was, you know, before this happened, I mean, that has to be one of the things I was most excited about in all of Star Wars, is learning the backstory of both of your characters together, and how I just thought it was brilliant how...
And the push and pull between the two, like it's...
Anytime you jump into a new character, especially in Star Wars, you know, it's
how's the fandom gonna
not
react,
with us.
You know?
We're very positive people. We love it
I can
all.
feel it.
But you never know, and I just feel like you guys did such an amazing job.
It means
So,
a lot. Thank you
yeah.
so much for saying that, because we did have as we were creating it, the awareness of the possibility of them not being received. But I think at the forefront of it has always been, especially with Ray, and the understanding with which he led on set and with which he understood what the character was standing for. It went layers deep.
Yes,
And
you could tell from scene one.
yeah, and I feel immensely lucky that it is him who was my scene partner. I've only been able to hopefully become a better person because of it. And
That's the dream, right? When
time.
when you get a partner like that in a scene, especially with multiple scenes,
and
to
you carry
get
it
like a
with you.
life-altering experience out of
Yeah,
it.
I hold him with me in everything I do. Like
Cool.
I can only hope that I can continue living my life in truth to honor him.
Brilliant. Tell your little story.
Yeah, we can finish up. I just have a really random that this is happening this weekend, and I just got back from a trip in Europe with my wife, and we were in Edinburgh, Scotland, and we were talking on the podcast thread about doing this weekend and that you were going to be here, and my wife and I had stumbled into this bar we were doing a lot of like really nice cocktail bars all in the cities in Europe that we stopped in. That was kind of like part of the trip. And we found this pretty brand new basement, you know, down these like dingy 500-year-old stairs into a basement cocktail bar that was themed after Norse mythology, and it was called Skoll and Hati.
No fucking
Yes,
way. Oh
I have
my
a
God,
picture of
what?
it of the menu on my phone. I can
Are
show
you kidding me?
So I was just gonna ask, and I'm sure you did, but like how deep into the mythology with like the names, you know, you got, because
Oh my
when
God.
I saw it, I was like, you know, I know a little bit of this, but the drummer of my band is from Sweden.
Yeah.
So we always, you know, we just call him a Viking just to do that. And so we talk about Norse mythology and stuff sometimes. So I knew some of it, but man, when I read about the wolves and swallowing the sun and the moon and all that, it was just like, I really hope we get to talk to you this weekend. You know, it just seemed like the Force.
That's so interesting to hear.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
It was really cool. All the cocktails were themed after different stories throughout
And
Norse
Rory
mythology.
lives there.
In Scotland.
In Edinburgh.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Or just near it. And
You have
I
to tell them
make
about
the
this
trip.
place. It was
Yeah,
very
yeah.
chill. There were like 10 people in there. It's very small and
Yeah.
cool, and the drinks were incredible. I don't know if he's a cocktail
That's
guy,
so
but
sick.
either way, he should go check it out.
But I mean, Skoll and Hati has been, the mythology has been present from the very beginning. Like
Yes.
the first gift Dave shared with Ray and I is he gave each of us a book called Children of Odin
Oh, so cool.
that has the story of Skoll and Hati and one of the original prints of the book. And
Amazing.
Which I still carry with me wherever I go. So the core of what they represent has been present with us from the very beginning and continues to be in the second season. But I think that what they represent and what they stand for translates really organically into Star Wars.
I
and
agree.
The Force.
That's what I was
yeah.
gonna say. But
Yeah.
that having not known the exact details of the story, just kind of knowing that they were wolves in Norse mythology, but then reading more about it, the concept of like bringing darkness to the world during Ragnarok and all that is just so you guys, you know, in the show, and just mysterious and sort of like I don't know. I love the way your characters feel so sort of wayward and trying to find themselves and like where they belong in between the light and the dark, and
Exactly.
best.
And
But each on their own paths. It's almost like your paths are crossing at this moment in history and these different times in your lives, and they will diverge. I mean, clearly the evidence of their divergence is there in the last few episodes of season 1. And it's so cool to see Dave being the heir apparent to George Lucas, pulling from other mythologies in the same way that George pulled from
the hero's journey and
those classic archetypes
Yeah.
and pulling from Japanese culture and all these things.
Yeah.
Something equally as old but feels fresh to the Star Wars universe, pulling from an entirely different part of the planet in terms of mythology, is so cool. And I love hearing that Dave brought you in that deep, not just on the character lore within Star Wars, but the inspiration as well. Because, he's well known for being that guy that comes on set and says, well, actually, what happens is this, and he just lays out the whole thing and just drops knowledge on people. And we've talked to a handful of voice actors who've worked from him, who've talked about like Dave's briefing, for a character. So that's really cool to hear. I'm glad that he's been going to those lengths and that it helps you build the foundation of your characters in that way.
That's what Dave is. I think his driving force is being able to give you what you need and share the knowledge with you, but there's also this deep trust within him towards everybody involved. So it does feel like a beehive of people. It feels like one organism. And what's really beautiful, I think, is honestly the lack of ego on set. And that's what creates an environment that you want to come back to, and not only come back to, but give your all to. Like there's a certain feeling of devotion to it because of who Dave is.
That's beautiful.
Well, I will definitely, after we're done, you should share that with Rory.
I cannot
it's so cool.
wait. I have to text him. I'm gonna.
Yeah, for sure. And thank you so much for your time, and we cannot wait, as you can tell, for
Thank you guys
season
so
2.
much for having me.
We're so excited.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank the Maker is produced by Adam Russell and Jason Chiodo, and edited by Jason Chiodo. If you enjoy the podcast, you can support us by leaving a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen. Or you can support us directly at patreon.com/thankthemakerpod, where you can get access to our Discord server, exclusive content, exclusive merch, and more. Our patrons literally make Thank the Maker possible.